Hey, Shalom, all praises, glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles, and to the elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. Nelson! Manners! Yeah, he's here. Peace and salutations to the elect, you know. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone again. You know, and this is on moving in the spirit. And I'm just meditating. From the other day I was meditating on some things, and I wanted to say a couple of things, you know, and what I was meditating, because you know, we're living in some times now where, you know, no, I mean I have none general. Hey, sorry about that. We're living in some times where you're gonna see a whole lot of things happening right now, you know, so you have to be prepared spiritually, you know, for what's coming. And preparing spiritually basically means you have to synchronize with these scriptures, man. Get in line or sing the songs of these scriptures, because this is the only true defense to what's ahead of us right now, the time of Jacob's trouble according to the scriptures, man. So, you know, first thing first, I want to get 2 Ezra 14 verse 13, and it reads, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and no renounce corruption." So that's the job of the prophets, right? And when it says our house, it's talking about literally our household, if for those of who, you know, have any household, and also to the nation of Israel. But we know the nation of Israel ain't gonna be set in order, but the house of David is gonna be set in order, man. So there's levels to these scriptures, man, right? So when we prophesy and we teach these lessons, man, these vibration that we're putting out is to set that house in order, the Lord's house, right? Verse 14, it says, back in the 2 Ezra 14 verse 14, it says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts." Right? Bear with me as I'm driving, right? It says, "Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." You hear what the scripture says? You're supposed to what? Haste to flee from these times, man, because the times that we're living in now, very, very serious, man. Yo. Yeah, Salaki about that. So it says, and verse 15 again, it says, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times, for yet greater evil than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter." And right now, I can speak for the people of Jamaica, you know, that for the most part, you know, people are anticipating what the Prime Minister is about to come and say, you know, the horrible brown dog, aka Kanjo, if he's gonna lock down back the country or put certain tight measures on the country. No, tight measures are coming, really. And even Christopher Crofton, you know, they call him the Minister of Health. Basically, he said that the people of Jamaica should basically look out for tighter measures, such as in other countries, like in Europe, where people won't be able to go to restaurants and stuff without that jab, without that vaccine. For those who know what I'm speaking about, you know, if you didn't know, you didn't know. Because there's no censorship on YouTube where you can't just say anything that you feel like. So we have to be speaking in parables, man. And that's another thing. You know, there's a censorship of the word going out, really. Why? Because the Lord is coming back, and he's coming back soon. And so more that this word is being cut off from the mouths of the people, man. From the ears of the people. This word is now being removed gradually. channels is being deleted, which goes back to what? To the scripture that there's going to be a famine of the word in the book of Amos. That's what's happening right now. But anyway, not to stray, Lord's willing, I'm going to do a lesson on that. See? But the thing is, right now people set on edge that this man is going to put for these measures, which they can tell, you know, they can, because of the pattern of what's been happening. You know, I've been hearing people saying that, I want to hear what the Prime Minister is going to say again, which he's going to speak soon, to see if he's going to say, oh, the curfew is going to be 8 o'clock instead of 8 p.m. instead of 11 p.m. or 7 p.m. or whatever. People are anticipating it because, you know, the time they get until 11 o'clock to party and stuff, you know. But, you know, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can show you something, right? See, speaking about partying, right? Look at that. It's now after 11, and I'm basically driving home. See that? See that? Basically, people love the partying, man. You know.
Open a twin, full air.
See? See? So you see, people love the people celebrating basically that. Look, they have up until 11 p.m. to basically what you call it, to celebrate, and then again that's gonna be taken away. But that's the thing with our people, man. There's a time and a place for everything, really, according to the scripture. Let's get that, man. See, and a prudent man will look well unto his going by discerning the times that we're living in, man. So let's get the book of Ecclesiastes. Bear with me as I say I'm driving, right? Ecclesiastes.
Yo, my bro.
See, Ecclesiastes 3. Verse 1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build. As a matter of fact, let me just jump down, you know, to the meat of the matter. It says, verse 7, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And this is the time that we're living in, man, a time of war. See, you can clearly see that, you know, all over the world, people, hearts getting dark against each other, you know, the mass, you know, killing of women these days, all these things, man. People dying constantly, you know, the vibration in the music. That's the time that we're living in at this very moment. It's a very sick and cruel time we're living in right now. Why? Because that's the judgment of the Lord, man. You know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is putting some spirits in the earth, and you're gonna witness some more crazy things happening. You know, and a lot of your doorsteps, these evils gonna walk up to your doorsteps, man, because we're going into that time. And back to what I started off with, man, looking for the lockdown. The Prime Minister basically said that starting August, he's gonna roll out Max, that V word, but we're gonna call it vaccination for censorship purposes. You know, he says he's gonna roll out that until March of next year, where he wants to have over 2 million people on the island to receive that job. No, that's where faith is gonna come in, man. That's where it boils down to faith, because we're supposed to treat this job as if it was the mark of the, you know, that B word, you know. And that's coming, man. And it's coming, and it's coming quickly. And the framework is being set up in and around our people every day, but they can't see it because their head is so far up the shit stem, man. You know, they can't really see that. Look, you know, there's a web. It's all about making the money. You know, it's all about having the women. It's all about everything that's not beneficial as pertaining to salvation. Because let's speak about money, right? See, no, like for example, the elder brother Rakhaya from the GMS London camp. His channel is GMS Fear the Most High 7. That's with the number 7, and you put a space and put back. And also GMS Fear the Most High 7, and you put a space then God, as in GA. So subscribe to that brother's channel, man, to be edified. Because from the other day, the brother been going into the CBDC, the central bank digital currencies that they are pushing right now, which is controlled money. Meaning you can't just take up your money and buy whatever you feel like. These currencies that they are gonna give you on what Elon Musk call it again, universal basic income, which means the government's gonna give you money to survive for such period of time, and if you don't use it, it's gonna be deleted. Then you're gonna get new money. So there's not gonna be anybody having more money than anybody saving for the elites. That's the society that they are pushing, and these CBDCs that they are bringing forth across now, central banks, digital currencies, is a trap. It's a web to trap the majority of the people in the world today. But the majority of the people ain't seen it, man. And what's the technology behind it? The blockchain. The blockchain technology is the technology behind it. And then you're gonna have like a national ID, the NIDS out here in Jamaica they call it, which basically is not gonna be a card, but that chip. You understand? Which is the mark of the, you know, back in Revelation. That microchip. And so see, you have to have the eyes to basically tie all these things into one. Out here they introduce it to the people as the NIDS, and the introduction of it started from 2007 when Bruce Golding came into power under the administration of the Labour Right government, man. You understand? But the ID system was first really introduced to Jamaica from 1970, but there wasn't the technology behind it at that point in time. Now they have the technology, which is the blockchain technology, which is like a grid that everybody that's living supposed to be tied in. See, hey, Jake, you as the elder pastor would say, you Israelites ain't ready, man, for what's coming. The very car that you're driving, the very car that I am driving, is supposed to be no more. Because the plans of these men is to get rid of fossil fuels, man, and go clean energy, where even right now, currently, last video I'm gonna video it and put it up. There's a what you call it, the electric charger for cars that has been installed where prophesy already. There's no car being charged here, there's no meter in it yet, it's on a plastic, but that's a electric charger for cars and motorbikes and stuff like that. It has already been installed. So they're moving quick and fast than the regular people are thinking, man. That's the time that we're living in currently in 2021. And 2022 is not going to be a nice year, because they're going to squeeze you people into submission to receive that joke, that mRNA. And a lot of you, because of your belly, you're going to receive it, man. A lot of you are going to die, man. A lot of you are going to die, because a lot of you, because of the love of money, you're going to do it as well. And you're going to catch up in some serious trouble, man. Anyway, let me get a scripture, man, because, you know, I've been speaking for quite some time, so let me just get me a scripture, man. Yes, brother, respect, yeah. I think I want to get beer me. Okay, this is it. Micah 2 verse 1. Right? And it reads, woe to them that devise an evil device. So like here. Hold on, so like here. Let me read it again. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And iniquity is transgressions, man. It says when the morning is light, they practice it. And you've been seeing these bankers practicing all that they have devised, man. You know, they're practicing it, Salakia, you know, right before your eyes. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, right? And they covet fields and take them by violence. Because ultimately, under this new rulership that the government that they are bringing in, you're not supposed to be owning anything. As they say in 2030, you're supposed to be happy owning nothing. Stuff like that. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. So it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even the man and his heritage. And this oppression had been happening, but it's gonna come down to another level, man. See, because if you're not led by the Spirit, then anything's gonna just suck you in, man. Like these demon women that suck in the spirit of men. Well, it's the same thing, man. As I said before, there's this time that we live in some serious times. Now is the time we have to be even more circumspect than any other time. You have to be more circumspect, man. Basically, you know, I reach my destination, so Lord's willing, I'll follow up. Shalom.